Hello and welcome to the Daily. It is January 4th. I'm Andrew Wiebe. Next to me, Greg Lalas. And Greg, the rumors in Red Bull land. Gary McAllister will be named head coach Thursday or Friday. Of course, the club came back and said, look, that's no sure thing. We do not have a man in place right now. What do you make of the situation on the ground?
Well, basically, the Red Bulls came out and said there has not been a contract offer, which is what the reports said. And so it doesn't mean that there won't be. It doesn't mean that Gary McAllister will not be at some point offered a contract to be the head coach for the Red Bulls. Look, I think what's interesting about this is it sparked that conversation again about whether a coach for an MLS team should be an American or not. Ultimately, I think it doesn't matter. You just want a really good coach. McAllister, obviously his resume is impressive. He would be a decent, a great hire probably for this, except that maybe he doesn't know the league very well. And there's been a track record throughout the years of coaches who don't really know the league struggling when they get here. Hans Backe might be one of the more successful foreign coaches to come into the league and right away do okay. Gary Smith in Colorado comes to mind as well. A couple of years after he was hired by the Rapids, he ends up winning MLS Cup. Other than that, there aren't too many non-MLS coaches that have come in and had success. Ultimately, the back and forth between the Red Bulls about whether he's been offered a contract or not really doesn't make a difference. Once the news comes out that a contract has been offered and it's been announced, then that's when we're really going to know what sort of coach and what sort of team they're going to have.
Of course, whoever is hired in New York will likely have Mike Petke at their side. That's a little bit of expertise. Of course, he's the interim coach right now. Another note with the Red Bulls, Victor Paulsen signing for NEC in the Netherlands. He will not be coming back to New York. Well, perhaps the big international news with MLS recently has been the comments of Sepp Blatter saying that there was not a very strong professional league here in the United States. Well, on Wednesday night, Commissioner Don Garber fired back and had a response at least for Sepp Blatter and an invitation.
Yeah, he invited Sepp Blatter to attend opening weekend in MLS, which I thought was a nice touch in this one. But I think that ultimately the commissioner came out and did things right. He didn't overblow it or anything like that. He just said, look, I think that Sepp Blatter does know how the progress that's taking place in MLS. Here's what that progress is, and we're gonna continue. I thought that Richard Farley on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com had a really good comment when he said the reality is there's no need to make a big deal out of this. This is Sepp Blatter doing what Sepp Blatter does really well, causing controversy, causing debate and discussion, and that's what sports ultimately is. And I think you come out and you say, we don't need to have an overblown reaction. No need for any knee-jerk defensiveness in it. MLS is doing fine. It'll continue to do fine, whether Sepp Blatter knows it or not.
Another interesting note from this whole thing, Garber also telling the New York Times that there could be a schedule change sometime in the future. Make sure you check out MLSsoccer.com for all those news, and check out March to the Match. They really break this one down well. That's one on iTunes and Buzzsprout. Well, before we get out of here, there's some late-breaking reports out of Colombia here on Thursday morning. Fredy Montero potentially headed to Millonarios on loan, a 6-month deal mooted, perhaps extending to a year and maybe even a purchase.
Well, look, nothing is confirmed right now. It's just a report that's out there coming out of Colombia. So we have heard about this before. There's been a little bit of a rumor that Millonarios would like to take him on loan for 6 months to go through their season. And now that it's maybe going to be extended for a year, we'll see. Not sure what this is all about for Seattle and what it means. Curious to hear what they say, if it's true at all, and if they confirm it.
Of course, it certainly helps the Sounders' cause that Eddie Johnson had such a huge season there in 2012. Speaking of Pacific Northwest forwards, Bright DK scoring his first goal for Nigeria on Wednesday. Will he be on that Africa Cup of Nations squad? That is set to be announced in early January, I believe the 9th. Also on the site, Extra Time Radio this afternoon. We've got a big show for you. Dynamo president Chris Canetti going to talk about soccer now in Newtown. Check all that out on the site and more. We'll see you tomorrow.